Let's do.
Hello, it's Monday. It's the 24th of March. We love having Eran on Mondays. I want to just say for the Canadians, yes, that's a very snap election call, Canadians. As you know, just this weekend, an election is called for April 28th. So that's giving just a little bit over a month. Very different than the American system, which elections seem to drag on for years and years and years. But anyways, please let's be praying into that. I would love us to blitz that so the Canadians that are on this can remind me that we just kind of hit it even briefly each day that we're here praying, because we want a leader who stands with Israel in the nation of Israel and or in the nation of Canada. So yeah, obviously I'm quite sure everybody on this call would concur that there's a clear Palaver is his name, but who is more of the leader in the running who would stand with Israel. So we want to support Canada. I keep getting texts from Canadians. Yeah, so the Lord is going to do something there awesome. But let's hit that in prayer, okay, Canadians, for the election. And that's a very quick turnaround. Even my mother, I called her, she's 91 this morning. She didn't even know about it. And you have to get, usually something in the mail, registered, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so we want to pray into that. And looking forward to hearing from you, Eran. And please add also how you guys are doing, how the National Leadership Center is doing, because we, just want to be diligent in our prayers, how your sons are doing, as well as, obviously the war situation, what's going on, these talks, it's so on again, off again. Now they're saying Egypt has brokered something, and yet Israel doesn't seem to know what are the terms. But anyways, thank you, Eran, for sharing. Thank you. Over to you.
So you have a couple of questions, and I think we need an hour and a half just to start with the three first questions. But yes, we are. We are still in war. It's continue. It's continue. It's we have in the end of the week and on Sunday morning we have missiles on Israel from Gaza and from Yemen. Sunday morning, I was driving to the National Leadership Center at 7:30, something like that, and it started an alarm while I was driving. Everybody pulling the side, and it was a good exercise for the morning. The idea is that you are lying on your stomach and putting your hands on the head, and you need to pray very strongly that nothing will happen, because the hand is not going to help you, and lying on the stomach is not going to help you so much. But it's amazing to see that how we are inside this dynamic, and people are lying 10 minutes and then continue to drive. And it's something that, it's very, very hard. And people that came back from to live in the south, they have missiles. People that live in the north, in Metula, they have missiles. And when you are thinking in a way that something is back to normal, we have a reminder that it's really not. And on top of that, there is 59 hostages that are still in Gaza, and everything is stuck in a way. No negotiation, although we was hearing that the Egyptian have a new idea that they're speaking about releasing 5 of the hostages leaving, and they want that we are going to stop the war. It's something that one of the things that in Israel these days are very hard. It's war outside, but it's also a war inside. It's a lot of opinions about what is the best way to do, how is the government taking care of that, and all legal stuff that happened in Israel, changing the leader of the Shin Bet, the security forces, and changing the legal advisor of the, and a lot of people are demonstrating in Jerusalem. It's full with thousands of people that demonstrating against the government, and in front of them there's people that support the government. And I think that I think that this is a very, very hard time in Israel. we started to fight again in Gaza. There are forces that enter, all the vacation are canceled. More than that, Itamar, my son, knows already that in Passover he will not be at home. It's a shift in the thinking of the people. The new leader of the IDF, his idea is that when it's his holidays, it's not the soldiers are not going home. The opposite, most of them are going to stay there. So in this Passover, we are going to be again without Itamar at home, and it's make us very sad because this is a family celebration, remembering going out of Egypt by a miracle, and hey, here we are going to stay in our house, and the celebration is not going to be full, and this is going to be how it's going to look in all of Israel. And this is something that also happening to us. And I think that one of the things that I'm focusing on this period of time in the National Leadership Center is about the healing of the nation. And I know to tell you that people are still in trauma. I think we didn't even start to take care of the trauma. We are not in the post because the war is still going on. And you can see that with people that living in the south, living in the north, IDF soldiers,
Yeah.
and especially I see the IDF soldier. There is a research in the army that say that if you are going back to battle, there is 80% that you are going to heal. And this is the approach of soldiers. And I'm not a scientific guy very much, but I can tell you for sure that the people that carry trauma to continue to be in the trauma, and I see that in my house, I don't sure that they are going to be healing because of their continue to fight. Or if they're going to be back in Gaza, I don't think that my son is going to be healed by being again in the same place that it's hell for them and for the hostages and for everybody. And on top of that, there is the missiles. And I was, in my prayers every morning, I turning to the Father and ask God for taking care of this situation. And I have to tell you that, and I'm focusing very much on that in the healing side. And prayer is the main foundation of our thing that's happening. But I can tell you that one of the things that I learned to do in this time is to hear. And one of the things that we know for sure that the strength of the children, the strength is not always in the adult's world. And I was reading in Shabbat, Psalms chapter 8 and verse 3, and it's reading them that from the children's, from the mouth of the children's, we are going to be strong, and from their perspective, we are going to be stronger, and we are going to win in this battle. And this is something that happened in the National Leadership Center. A week ago, we brought orphans and widows to the NLC. Some of them are men that lost their wife, some of their wives that lost their men in this terror attack that happened in the 7th of October, and we brought the children. And we are taking them through the activity, speaking with them about the journey of Abram, and we are doing for them a trust walk. And in the end of one of them, it's happened with two people that was speaking about the trauma that losing their wife, and sharing with their children about how hard is to be a widow, how hard is to lose your wife. That if we are real for a minute and honest, especially in my case, the women are the ones that holding the fort. The women that are the one that holding the house. The women are the one that connected the family together. And this man said that when he lost his wife in a terror attack, he didn't know how to hold the family. He don't know how to communicate with the children. And he said to his child, I want to be a better father to you. And the son said to him, Abba, I know that you are going to be always with me. And for me, it was a one sentence that it hits me very strong because this child is know that the love of the father is unconditional love. Even if sometimes he thinking that he's not a good father, even sometimes he think that maybe his mother was better than him. But now when the reality hit in their family, the father, the Abba, is the foundation of that. And this is one of the examples. The other example was another child that was with his father there, and they were struggling very much because the father didn't trust his son. And when I was in the Odyssey, and 13 day was in the Odyssey, I was down, and I heard the child scream to his father, Abba, trust me. I'm trusting you, Abba. You are holding me. Hold me, Abba. Hold me. And I was closing my eyes, and I was screaming in my heart to Abba, to God, Abba, hold me. Abba, I'm trusting you. And when you are doing that in a prayer, it's powerful. But when you are hearing a 13 years old crying to his father that he's trust him, this is something that is powerful. And when they go down, they hug each other, and the father said to him, thank you for being my child. And the child said to him, Abba, I will walk with you forever. I'm trusting you, Abba. And I was thinking about the relations between this father and his son, and I cannot stop thinking about my relations with God. I stopped thinking about, and when we was debrief this, we spoke with them about the family connection, but we spoke with them about the spiritual connection. And for me, it was something that is very powerful because the heart of the people is open to accept ideas that in the past it was not speakable. More than that, I think some of the children that we see, and maybe myself in a time, um, I treating God or treating the presence of the Lord as something that is obvious. Yes, God is here. We trust Him. We know that He's here. But sometimes you have to be in a very deep place and dark place to cry to Abba and say to him, Abba, help me, like this child. Abba, I'm trusting you. Abba, hold me. And what's happening in this case of the activity, the high ropes activity, it's something that symbolizes our life. And with this thought, I was going home, and I was trying to figure it out. How can I can be a better father, better Abba to my sons, and how I can be a better son to Abba, God, because I know that these two connecting very strongly. I saw the people that are bringing and inviting God to their houses, to their life, to their heart. They are becoming a better parents. And if you know as a father to honoring God, your children is going to honor you. I was as you know, all my son Jonathan is post-traumatic in a very high level. And on Saturday, it's Friday, 4 a.m. We have a alarm in Israel from Yemen. We was sleeping, of course, and we have 1.5 minutes to run 3 stories down. And because of all the alarm and the sirens and everything, I saw my son Jonathan in a post-trauma attack. This is something that I don't wish that any father or mother will see the child in this position. It's something that you cannot, you don't, I don't have the skills to deal with that in emotional level, but even in a physical level, you don't know what to do. And we go to the shelter, and it was a panic attack, and it was a panic attack because it was all the trauma of the siren that he heard while he was injured. Came back to him the moment that he was injured. On top of that, it was 30 strangers in the shelter that don't know the story and don't know what has happened. But this is this attack, this panic attack, this trauma attack. It's something that you cannot hold yourself.
Wow.
And and then when in the middle of this thing that it's everything I'm speaking with you about 10 minutes, but it seems like it's like eternity. I say to Jonathan, I say to Jonathan, I'm praying for you now, and I'm praying that I can be a better father to you.
mm,
I want to be an Abba. And then he said to me, and look at me with tears in his eyes, with all the panic attack. And he said to me, Abba, you are my rock.
wow,
And and I was in that moment, of course, melting and start tears in my
wow,
eyes.
wow.
But this is the moment that I understood
Mm,
in all my journey with God, maybe I was thinking to myself, and I'm not sure that this is the right thinking in that moment, but I said, if Jonathan sees me as a rock for him,
mm,
God, Abba, Father, he is my rock. He's my
wow.
rock, and I have to trust him, and I have to hold him, and I have to believe in this thing. And every day is a lesson for us as a parents, especially in these special cases. But when our sons need us more than ever, just a simple prayer, just a
Mm,
look in the eyes, and just present, this is
wow.
something that symbolizes the relations with God Almighty. And I was very sad and very troubled about all this situation in one hand. In other hand, I understood that as long as we are going to do what we are doing in the National Leadership Center,
Mm,
this is in a very weird way, this is
mm,
what God planned for me in my house. Because when I see these traumatic childrens and parents, they are coming to the NLC bringing their trauma, bringing their sorrow, bringing their grief. I understood that God, in his unique way and maybe hard way, prepare me for the moment to
mm,
understand how big is our responsibility, how big things weights in our shoulders, how
mm,
big, how strong we need to be for the others. Because if we are going to be strong for the others, God is
mhm.
going to be strong for us. So maybe it's a test.
Wow.
Maybe it's something that I cannot imagine. I can understand, and I saw that in a very dark place in my life, that
Mm,
I cannot even start thinking what is God's plan.
mm,
And I was thinking about myself with the marathon of sorrow and challenging that we are having for the future. Maybe it's a preparation for me to understand how much important is what we are doing in the hills of Ephraim. How much is important to love the people that are coming, how much is important to serve the people that are coming, and how big is our mission. How big is our mission? And how big is the mission, and how we can be more doing for the others. And when we are going to do to the others, we are going to make strong ourselves. My son
mm.
sees me as a rock, and I can tell you for sure, God Almighty is my rock, is
Wow.
our rock. And we don't have to wait for these moments of darkness, of grief, of sorrow to say, God, Abba, you are my father. You are my rock. I depend on you. I trust you. I hold you. I love you, Abba Father. And when we are going to communicate that between us and God, between us and others is going to be easier and the road is open. And this
Mm,
is the thing that I'm praying today. I was reading in Shabbat, in the portion of Shabbat, about building the temple and everybody was gathering to building the temple for the house of the Lord. And I don't know if this is something that's right, what my heart tell me, that I don't think that I'm not sure that there is things that all the population in Israel can join around, but I can tell you for sure that I'm going to lead something that is going to bring the people to God, because this is something that we can be unite around. That He's here. We don't understand that, but He is our rock, and we can say to Him, God, He is going to the army now. He is going to a process. I don't have the tools to deal with that. This is your child. I raised him 24 years. And this is what I say to the fathers in the day. We need to release. We are smart, we are clever, we are Jewish, we invent, everything is great. But we have to be humble in front of God, not in front everybody, and say, God, I don't know the answers. I don't know them. I'm just present. I'm just acting with love, with faith, and trust. And the other thing, God, you are going to take care. It's your responsibility. and release. It's very hard as a parents to release. It's very hard as to a father just to be present and not do talks and conversation and make a solutions and. One of the things that we are doing in the parents team, we are teaching the parents and the teenager that it's a journey of transition in our
Mm,
life. Between 0 to 5, we are cops. After that, we are trainers, and in the end, we need to be mentors. A
mm,
mentor is somebody that's acting with trust to the child. The
mm,
child needs trust. He needs us as somebody that trusts, but we need to present him that we are trusting on God. And when he understands that we are trusting God, he will trust us 10 times than just to say, I'm trusting you. My son sees me every morning praying to God and asking him for favor, asking me for guidance. And this is from a very, very, very simple place of being humbled in front of Abba. And
right.
this is what we are doing, Patricia, in the NLC. We are bringing them, we are giving them the platform to connect it, to see
Wow.
each other, to cry together, to hug together, to share the feelings together, to struggle with the feelings together, to ask the hard question. And it's okay to hard. I say to them, it's very okay to be mad on God. It's very okay to complain to God, as
Wow.
long as you are have relations with Him and not just dropping and not doing that. This is
Mm,
this is your responsibility as a father. As a father, you have to be a child to your kid, to your Abba.
mm,
And this is what we are doing. I hope that we are doing well.
wow.
But I can tell you that as long as this war is going on,
Mm,
the challenges are going to be big and
mm,
big and big and big. And our responsibility is to open the gates and be present. And this is what we are doing. We are going out of the NLC. We are inviting people to the NLC. We are not expert in trauma. We are
mm,
not expert in anything, but
right.
yes, we're expert to say it. God promised us this land,
Mm,
and you need to release release is a very hard thing for a mother and a father to
mm,
say, okay, God will take care of him. This is more hard than to find a solution, but
mm,
I said, let's face the truth and challenge ourselves as a parents, and then the children can ask themselves, how can be a better son to you, Abba?
mm,
And we
mm.
are going to do it for our God. A lot
Wow.
of challenges, a lot of struggles inside Israel, but we see the hearts of stone becoming a heart of flesh. We see the
Wow.
okay is a prayer. It's okay to speak about emotions. There is cultures in Israel, groups in Israel, to speak about your emotion is something that is showing weakness. And I
Mm,
say to them, vulnerability, this
right.
is the name of the game now. If your child will understand that you are hurt by the situation, that you are sorry that your wife is not alive, your
Mm,
child is going to look at you as a rock. Because even rock can be a little bit scratch. Even rock can be sometime break. And it's okay. And it's okay. And it's okay to show that to your child. So I don't know if I answer for all the questions, but
wow.
oh,
Wow.
for sure I share what's on my heart today.